Today is round 3 for back to school in Jefferson County. About 26,000 high schoolers joined the rest of the district in class today, the real test for JCPS. Many of us wondering if the temporary transportation changes will hold. Our Jim Stratman has been all over the district watching how the morning played out.
Early this morning, the buses fired up their engines, preparing to transport their full capacity for just the second time this year.
We just have tens of thousands of more students, so probably about 20,000 more students riding buses. So that is it is obviously different.
JCPS says Friday's staggered return for elementary and middle school students was significantly better after the district implemented some short-term fixes. The goal was not perfection, but to be better, the same mantra for today.
There have been, some incidents, some challenges that we faced this morning, but in general, things seem to be going pretty well.
JCPS officials say that there were some transportation concerns this morning, but a lot of it they can chalk up to things that they would normally experience on a first week of school. The hope is in the next couple of weeks, those are ironed out and things go a lot smoother.
There are still going to be delays. There's still going to be kids getting to school late, no matter what we do. But that said, things will even out over the next 2 weeks once kids know where they're going to school, know their bus stop, know what bus they're supposed to be on, the drivers know their routes. So this should smooth out over the next couple of weeks.
Out at Wagner High School, there were delays, with the last bus arriving during first period. But most students were in the building by the time school started, which Principal Sarah Hitchens says is a win.
Well, last year, in Wagner's specific situation, we had buses, we had a couple busloads of students missing the entire first period all year long.
She hopes the busing issues can be put behind them so that students and staff can focus on what happens in school.
We just told our staff, let's make this worth our students' wait. When they get back, let's make it worth their wait. And so we're just so excited to have the students back.
Reporting in Louisville, Jim Stratman, WHAS11 on your side.
Friday, elementary and middle school students returned to class 9 days after the transportation failures we saw on the very first day of school. Get a recap here. On August 9th, the last students were dropped off at 9:58 p.m. Then on Friday, JCPS said the last drop-off happened at 7:43, still more than 3 hours after the last school let out for the day. One of the big changes that happened Friday was tagging students with information on what buses they were supposed to be on, preventing them from getting on the wrong ones and cutting down those delays. But JCPS parents we spoke to were quick to point out Friday's return wasn't without its problems.
This is a short day, with less kids. What are y'all going to do Monday with high schoolers, middle schoolers, and elementary?
Seems like they did better in the afternoon, though. I'm really hoping that they're going to keep improving.
District officials did say the drop-off time Friday was on par with last year's first day of school. But again, remember, and as you heard from those parents, last year's numbers included all students. Some delays this morning were attributed to 4 JCPS bus crashes. Thankfully, no one was injured. One student was on board for the first collision around 6:30 this morning in the Cloverleaf neighborhood. Then around 7 at the intersection of 6 Mile Lane and Bardstown Road, a second crash with students on board. Another around that same time at Blankenbaker and Clarkwood. LMPD said 7 students were on the bus at the time. And then around 8 this morning, 1 student was on board when a JCPS bus collided with a passenger car in the 3600 block of Chenoweth Run Road. Again, no injuries reported in any of these crashes. Parents, if your child's bus is running late today, you're asked to call the school before the hotline. If you need that hotline number, the number is on your screen, 485-RIDE. New here at noon, Clark Memorial Health in Jeffersonville and Scott Memorial Health in Scottsburg will join fully under Norton Healthcare in the next few weeks. Norton and LifePoint Health have jointly owned and operated both hospitals, but just recently signed an agreement transitioning full ownership to Norton. Norton Healthcare will expand specialty services at these hospitals, and patients will continue to access them in the same ways they do now and can continue to see their same physicians. Residents in the 800 apartments building are back in their homes today after Louisville fire crews gave them the all clear early this morning, hours after reports of a carbon monoxide leak. This is on the complex at 4th and York Street. Officials did confirm they found high CO reading levels throughout the entire building, declaring it an level 1 hazmat situation at the time. So far, we know 1 person was transported by EMS to the hospital to be treated. Residents were evacuated around 3 this morning and allowed back inside closer to 5. A late night crash left a mess outside a Germantown restaurant this weekend. Today, the business is asking drivers to slow down. 4 Pegs posted this photo to Facebook Sunday morning, saying the car you see here crashed into the front of the restaurant Saturday night. The damage so bad the restaurant couldn't open the front door. We caught up with the owner of the neighboring restaurant, The Post, who said they too found themselves in a similar situation recently.
This intersection has been dicey for as long as I've been around here in Germantown. We've been here for almost 9 years, and it seems like every couple of months there's some sort of, if it's not an actual collision, it's a near miss. You hear tires screeching and everyone turns around to look, and there's a lot of wrecks that happen here.
4 Pegs said the owner of the car stayed on scene, and from what they're told, the injuries were minor. A driver who'd pulled off to the side of the Waterson Sunday died when he was hit by a passing motorist. Police say it happened around 3 in the afternoon on the westbound side of 264 near 3rd Street. LMPD said as the man tried to get back into his car, another car hit him. He was taken to the hospital where he died. You are looking at video showing the impact of traffic in that area. The westbound lanes near the fairgrounds were shut down for more than 2 hours. An accidental shooting at the Kentucky State Fair wounded a woman Sunday who was shot in the foot by her boyfriend's gun. Alexis Jones and Ian Hardwood explain the growing concern over safety at the fairgrounds.
Whether on foot or by shuttle, thousands made their way to the Expo Center Sunday, eager to get their hands on some fair favorites.
A corn dog, fried Oreos.
A little upside down.
Along with food, safety was on top of mind after Saturday's shooting. While some say the incident was a harmless mistake,
Things happen. Guy just dropped it. Messed up her foot a little bit, but she'll probably be all right.
Tyron Baker, who's worked at the fair for years, says it's another example of reckless behavior.
But it's getting worse and worse. And so, so I don't, really, I don't know what to do but take the guns. If a shot went off right now, everybody running.
Right now, guns are allowed at the fair, but carriers must be in compliance with state and federal law. However, state police say 19-year-old Amari McClung is under the legal age to carry. They say his handgun was also unsecured, which caused it to fire into a large crowd, putting his girlfriend and others in danger.
Terrible, it's really terrible.
Despite mixed reaction, most agree organizers should implement more safety measures.
Everybody should go to a gun check, because really, they can bring whatever they want to hear. They make you bad.
Maybe like a little check-in, so like they know everybody that has one and everybody in and out, just so there's no confusion.
And so fairgoers can have fun in peace. In Louisville, Alexis Jones, WHAS11 on your side.
McClung is facing charges of wanton endangerment and carrying a concealed weapon. In court this morning, he pleaded not guilty with the bond set at $10,000.